Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to take a look at how to start collecting Warhammer 40,000 using one of the many different box sets available to us. In this video we'll go through each unit, looking at the basic rules and stats of those units along with how they work on the tabletop. And at the end of the video we'll also show you a sample army list and look at some other units we can use to expand upon the box set as well, and put this all into practice to hopefully inspire you into starting your own army in Warhammer 40,000. In today's video, we're going to take a look at getting started with the Orks in Warhammer 40,000 using the new Stompa Boyz Battleforce box set. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. Leading the box set is the brand new Big Mech. This model gets a choice of one of two different ranged weapons, either the one-shot super powerful anti-flight tractor beam or the hazardous custom Mega Blaster. In melee, once again, it'll have two different weapon options to choose from, either the Driller or Claw, which have one air weapon being slightly more punchy but with less attacks. His Shock Booster special rule will allow the model to reroll charges and move through other models as if it could fly, and the more Dakka rule will allow it to give the unit joins reroll ones to hit with their shooting. Next, we have a unit of 10 Ork Boys. These are the basic infantry of the army, have a mix of either rapid firing shooters or going for the pistol sluggers and choppers. The unit can also have some special weapon options with both big shooters for more Dakka and some rocket launchers for higher strength punch. The unit's best thing though is the Get the Good Bits special rule, which will allow them to claim objectives even if they move off them. Next, we have 10 models that can be built in two different ways. The first way is to build them up as looters, a ranged Ork unit that can punch out a decent amount of firepower with their def guns, which are 2 shots at a 48-inch range with the heavy and rapid fire 1 special rules, along with being a nice strength 8 and damage 2. The That's Our Loot special rule will allow them to reroll hit rolls of 1, or if they're targeting an enemy unit on an objective, just flat out reroll hits. The other build option for these models are Burner Boys, a more anti-horde and close range focused unit. Models are armed with burners which ignore cover and have the Hot Torrent special rule to rule to hit automatically. In melee, they'll use these weapons with Cut and Flames to have a nice AP of -2. The Pyromaniac special rule will allow them to reroll wound rolls of 1 when they target an enemy unit within 6 inch, or like the looters, if that unit's within range of an objective, they can just flat out reroll all wounds. The first of our 2 vehicles in the box set is a truck, a troop transport that can carry up to 12 Ork models. For its rather cheap points cost, toughness 8, 10 wounds and a 6+ invulnerable save is rather decent. It can be armed with a Wrecking Ball as well, which can allow it to make one big melee attack at strength 10 with a damage of D6. Lastly is the biggest piece in the box, the Stomper. This 800 point model is an absolute behemoth with toughness 14 and 30 wounds. In melee, it can pack out some truly insane damage, and at range, this thing is bristling with guns with no less than 3 big shooters, a Scorcher and a 20-shot Super Gatler, laying down some great anti-horde and anti-infantry shooting, while the Def Cannon with 3d6 strength 14 shots and the Super Rockets can take out almost any enemy armor. Meanwhile, this model inspires all nearby Orks, making it harder for them to be battle shocked, and can just simply ignore smaller models when moving over the battlefield. The first thing we're going to look at bringing into the force is another mech, but this one comes with a really big and rather hilarious gun. The Shock Attack gun puts out a D6 +1 shots at a strength of 9 with -4 AP and damage D6, making it pretty solid against all but the toughest of armor. More Dakka means it'll give the unit it leads reroll 1s to hit, and after this model shoots, it can force enemies to have to take battle shock tests as well. It's got a Grot Assistant as well, which will once per game allow it to reroll the number of shots it makes with the Shock Attack gun. Next up is the Death Dread. This Orky Walker has the option to be equipped in a variety of different ways with some shooting weapon options like Scorcher, Rocket Launcher or Custom Mega Blaster, and it also has the ability to take Dreadclaws. You can actually increase the amount of attacks this model puts out in melee for each additional Dreadclaw you take after the second, and thanks to its piston-driven brutality, you can actually force battle shock tests onto enemy units you're engaged into combat with. Now lastly we have the Killikans. These smaller walkers are actually piloted by Gretchen, not overly tough vehicles with just toughness 6 and 5 wins per model, but they pack out quite a punch. They have a few of the more common ranged weapon options like rocket launchers and scorchers, but also have their own unique weapons like can shooters which pack out a lot of shots with the ability to do some devastating wounds, or my personal favourite, the Grotzuka, which is a blast weapon that ignores cover. Their shoot power trip, a special rule, allows them to either supercharge their weapons or potentially blow themselves up while trying to do so. In our list today, we are playing with the Orks and we're going to be using a detachment called the Dread Mob. Leading our force is our big mech, who is going to have the super glowy thing, which is a nice sort of random item they can take to do some extra damage. We then have our big mech with shock attack gun, who's got his grot assistant, and the Git Finder goggles to help his unit ignore cover. We then have a unit of 10 boys, which have been equipped with a boss knob with big chopper and slugger. We then have one boy with a big shooter, and then we've got a mix of shooters and slugger and chopper options for the rest of the boys in the unit. A unit of 5 burner boys with the spanner wielding a custom mega blaster, and then we've also got a unit of looters with 5 models in the unit and the spanner wielding a custom mega blaster as well. We then have a Death Dread who's gone full melee with 4 Dread Claws. Next is a unit of Killikans where we've gone for 1 Grotzuka and 2 can shooters in the unit. Our Stomper is next after that, and lastly, rounding out the list is our truck, which has been equipped with a Wrecking Ball. We hope that you found this video helpful in getting you started with Warhammer 40,000, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any further questions, please comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future Warhammer 40,000 content.